Okay, you're here, I'm here, we're here. Welcome back, or if it's your first time here, welcome front. My name is Sean. If you did see my last video, then you know sometimes hand puppets spontaneously appear, but you also know that we're working towards the goal of extracting ourselves from the typical model of earning income, where we trade an agreed upon amount of our time, more or less a third of our life, for an agreed upon amount of currency in the form of a wage or salary, and replacing that with a model where the value of our work exists in the quality of said work rather than the quantity in time of work that we do. I feel like I could tie the whole be good or be good at it thing into this somehow, but it is true, or at least true adjacent, that working a typical 9-to-5/salary/wage job will never result in actual wealth in any form. This is why the typical American household has over $130,000 in debt, not including their mortgage, and over a fifth of Americans have no retirement savings at all, with over half of the population believing that they will have to continue working past the age of 65. I personally don't even know very many people who don't live basically paycheck to paycheck. Sorry for being such a bummer there, but financial literacy is important, you guys. But again, the goal of this channel is for all of us, you and me, not to be one of those statistics. Instead, we want to work smarter, and one of the smarterest ways to work and to build actual wealth is to provide unequivocal value to other people. For our purposes, and at this time, we are providing this value by running Facebook ads on behalf of small business owners, generating enough additional revenue for them that they're able to pay us and turn a nice profit on their investment into us. We are the money machine. Hold on. Shout out to Graham Stephan and Bankroll Coffee. Tag him in the comments if you want. The coffee is delicious. The money gun kind of works. Where were we? So later in this video, we're going to dive into the actual Facebook ads interface and set up a real life campaign for my real life client, Ohana Surf and Skate. But before you get to the point of creating an ad campaign, it's necessary to have a reason to create one in the first place. Generally speaking, that means having a client. In my last video, I shared how Ohana and I came to do business together, but how can you attract your first client? The first one is always the most trickiest one, right? It's kind of like a proof of concept situation, with the benefit being that you can use the data from the first one to then leverage towards the next client and so on. But how do you get that first one? Okay, I've got an idea. Work for free. Hear me out. When you're good at something, you should absolutely never do it for free. But are you actually good at this yet? Be honest. And that fact that anytime you want to invest in something, and in this case, you very much are investing in yourself and your future, it's going to cost you something up front. And that something is always either going to be time or money. There's really no way around it. Let's say you are able to convince a business owner to give you $1,000 with the understanding that $500 is for ads and $500 is for your time. If you don't know what you're doing and you burn through that $500 without providing any return to them, then what? Sure, you earned $500, I guess, but you burned a bridge and your reputation is now in jeopardy. This is jeopardy. Word of mouth can make or break you. I really can't stress how important it is to behave honorably when you're earning income this way. There's no boss looking over your shoulder, no micromanagement, no management at all other than your self-management and self-control. You're the boss, and you should always be honest with the boss, which is you. So don't lie to yourself or your clients once you have them, which brings us back to why it might be necessary for you to work for free to acquire your first one using honesty. Tell them the truth, that you're pivoting in your professional life to begin providing digital marketing services to small businesses, that you have an understanding of the mechanics, that you believe you can launch these ads and generate a return for them on their money. But since you aren't yet proven in the field that if they'll give you the opportunity to create these ad campaigns on their behalf, then you'll initially do it free of charge. All they'll need to pay is the actual ad spend. Once you've proven yourself to yourself as much as to them, then you can discuss actual compensation for your time. Trust me, people that run small businesses are fundamentally entrepreneurs. And to that end, real will always recognize real. So they'll see themselves in you. I mean, we're all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively anyway, right? And they're likely to see the entrepreneur in you and give you the shot that you're asking for. And if they say no, so what? Someone else will say yes in the very near future anyway. Also in this scenario, if you proceed to burn through that first $500 anyway, or however much it is, odds are they're much more likely to give you another chance, provided you're able to tell them exactly what went wrong and what you'll do different on the next campaign. You're building a business relationship with them, and they already very much understand that one must spend money in order to make money. So say you lost $500, and they give you another $500, and from that $500, you generate $1,500. Do you think they're going to be mad about that initial $500 loss? You still earn them a 50% return overall, which is a win all day long in any business. Assuming all that makes sense, then this is why it may initially be necessary for you to work for free, because you're investing in yourself in order for them to invest in you so that in the end, everyone can win. And once you have that win, you can then have a discussion about what compensation seems fair. Then you keep that ball rolling with them while then also approaching your next potential client and speak to them about how you're currently running ads for this other business and you'd like to provide the same service for them for which your rate is however much. But with each client, you can expect to dial that number up a little bit. Then also circle back and dial that number up with your original clients as you continue generating more and more revenue for them. Remember, everything is always relatively negotiable. And with that in mind, let's jump into the Facebook ads interface and see about doing the actual thing that generates that revenue. And here we are inside of the actual Facebook ad interface for Ohana Surf and Skate. So on the left-hand side, you'll see the copy that I typed out and the image that I uploaded for this particular ad campaign. And then on the right-hand side, what the ad is actually going to look like when it shows up in people's Facebook feeds. Scrolling down, we see the headline and button options. Then arguably the most important piece of the puzzle here is the actual URL that people are going to go to when they click on the ad, which is the actual sign up page for these surf and skate camps. Making our way further down, we have the actual audience targeting that I'm doing for this particular campaign, which, like I mentioned in my last video, this is all going to be geographic, lifestyle, and income relevant to these people, or at least ideally to the people that we want to see this ad. And the payment summary, which shows we're spending $5 per day for 5 days, so $25 total just to test out this targeting. Scrolling down again, we see the actual calendar dates that this is going to run for, which is for 5 days again, including today, and $5 a day. A little more scrolly-poly here, and on the right-hand side, you'll see the estimated daily results. And finally, the placement, the pixel, which is a thing that I'll go into in a future video that we're not using right at this moment, and the payment method. And then finally, we're going to submit this thing. And with that, our first ad is now submitted to Facebook for approval. Ideally, it will go live soon and we'll start gathering data to optimize our campaign. I kind of burned through the process here pretty fast, but soon we'll dig our way into the what's and whys within the Facebook ads interface. So the next video takes a slight detour from Facebook ads. I'm going to tell you a story about how I lied my way into the oil and gas industry when I was 17. Because on this channel, I'll be covering a range of topics that all relate to earning income on your own terms, personal finance, and entrepreneurialism. But some of the tales about how I became versed on those topics should also make for good old-fashioned story times. So the next video will be one of those. So if you see fit to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you'll be one of the first to know when I upload a new video, I'd be much obliged. You can also slide right into the comment section below and we can have a chat. With that said, I hope to see you in the next video. I love you.